Rumors about V. King Charles mentions BTS. K-pop stars were victims of the police and more BTS news. Following the news that other BTS members were starting their military enlistment, Jungkook quickly went online to reassure fans. He shared a message on Weverse about military service, expressing his thoughts as the cold November winds blew. He acknowledged that fans were already aware of the situation and aimed to keep his message brief. Interestingly, Jungkook chose to post this message at 6:13 p.m., a time symbolic of BTS's debut date. The reaction from ARMYs was a mix of emotion and sadness, both because of the members' enlistment and Jungkook's touching note. However, Jin, who had enlisted in December 2022 and often shared his experiences on social media, responded differently. Jin, known for his light-hearted approach, interacted with fans on Weverse amidst their emotional responses to Jungkook's letter. Instead of offering serious advice or comfort, Jin chose to respond with escalating laughter, typing "kekekeke" repeatedly, a move that amused fans and was seen as characteristic of his playful personality. This was not the first time Jin had humorously addressed his and his members' enlistment, often bringing a smile to ARMYs during these emotional times. Despite this, there's growing excitement among fans about possible new music from V. V has a history of teasing unreleased songs to ARMYs. On November 21st, he used Instagram's question sticker to engage with fans, asking them about their recent activities. One fan flipped the question, asking V about his current activities. V responded with a video from a studio, hinting at recording a new song. He playfully captioned it with a message suggesting it might be a spoiler. In another instance, a fan requested a glimpse of his upcoming project. V answered with a photo showing him in elaborate costume and makeup, possibly for a concept photo. These teasers have led fans to anticipate new music from V. Moreover, a snippet of a song V posted was widely shared by fan accounts on Twitter. One of these posts caught the attention of American singer-songwriter Umi, who quoted it with a caption "loading," and echoed this message on Instagram. V has previously expressed his admiration for Umi by sharing her music and reposting her covers of his songs on Instagram. This interaction had already sparked hopes among fans for a collaboration. Umi's recent hint has further fueled excitement among ARMYs for a potential musical collaboration between the two artists. At a state banquet in Buckingham Palace, London, honoring President Yoon Suk-yeol, King Charles III celebrated Korean culture, including its independence movement and K-pop. The event, part of Yoon's state visit to Britain, saw over 170 attendees from both nations, including Korean business leaders and the K-pop group Blackpink. King Charles expressed his warm welcome to President Yoon and offered toasts in Korean. He discussed the significant influence of Korean culture in Britain, comparing Korean and British cultural icons and achievements, from directors like Bong Joon-ho to popular shows and music like Squid Game and BTS's Dynamite. The king acknowledged the impact of Korean and British culture globally, and specifically commended the younger Korean generation for their dedication to environmental issues. He recognized each Blackpink member, Jennie, Jisoo, Lisa, and Rose, for their work in promoting environmental sustainability. He humorously mentioned his lack of Gangnam Style during his 1992 visit to Seoul, and noted Korea's importance as a defender of democracy, human rights, and freedom. President Yoon, in his speech, emphasized the strong bond between Korea and Britain, forged through shared efforts to protect freedom. He shared his personal fondness for British music icons like the Beatles, Queen, and Elton John. King Charles recited a passage from The Wind Blows by Korean poet Yoon Dong-ju, a figure known for his contributions to the Korean independence movement during Japanese colonial rule. The king reflected on Korea's resilience and identity, drawing inspiration from Yoon's life and poetry. Yoon, in response, quoted Shakespeare, likening the United Kingdom to a timeless friend. Among the Korean dignitaries present were executives from major conglomerates such as Samsung, LG, and Lotte. From the British side, Prince William and Catherine of Wales, along with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, were notable attendees. The day included a ceremonial welcome for President Yoon and the First Lady by King Charles and Queen Camilla at Horse Guards Parade, a royal carriage procession to Buckingham Palace, and a private lunch. President Yoon also addressed the British Parliament in English and was scheduled for a bilateral summit with Prime Minister Sunak the following day. In April 2023, BTS's J-Hope began his mandatory military service. Throughout his service, he has actively kept in touch with fans and supported his BTS members, sharing updates through various means including pictures and comments. During his military stint, J-Hope has been recognized for his exemplary performance, earning the title of an assistant instructor and becoming a special class elite warrior. His military life is private, but fans have occasionally seen glimpses of him through the official military app and updates from his co-soldiers. A story shared by an army revealed J-Hope's role as an assistant instructor. The story originated from a person whose colleague's son was under J-Hope's training. The colleague described J-Hope as a compassionate instructor, often offering hugs to motivate the trainees. A particular incident highlighted J-Hope's caring nature. When the trainee injured his finger during shooting practice, J-Hope took extra care to show him how to use the gun without straining the injury. Despite his strictness in training, he is known to be attentive and caring during breaks, often checking on the trainees. The colleague mentioned that her son received more hugs from J-Hope than from his own parents. Additionally, when the trainee requested a photo with J-Hope, the BTS member readily agreed and posed with him, easing the trainee's initial hesitation due to J-Hope's fame. J-Hope is expected to complete his military service and be discharged on October 17, 2024. The Bang family is well known for their creative talents. Stray Kids Bang Chan's younger sister, Hannah Bang, has become a social media sensation, boasting 4.5 million followers on TikTok, over 1 million on YouTube, and more than 2 million on Instagram. Hannah made her foray into music with Perfect Blues earlier this year, despite previously stating that she didn't aspire to be an idol. She recently surprised her fans with a cover of BTS Jungkook's hit solo song 7. She uploaded her rendition of 7 on YouTube, and its preview quickly went viral on TikTok, garnering 6.5 million views at the time of writing. Her decision to cover the explicit version of the song stirred quite a reaction among netizens, with many surprised by the contrast between the bold lyrics and her soft, sweet vocal style. Fans have been captivated by her unique and gentle take on the song. Many are hopeful that Jungkook will notice Hannah's cover, as she not only tagged him, but also alluded to his song Standing Next to You in one of her recent posts. In a past issue of Potato magazine, the BTS members amusingly likened each other to various animals, considering both physical features and personality traits. Here's a summary of their lighthearted comparisons. V saw RM as reminiscent of a fox, citing his eyes, thin lips, and a personality that blends coolness on stage with a more reserved, worrisome nature in private settings. Jungkook described Jin as having a wolf-like exterior but sloth-like in his laid-back demeanor. He affectionately referred to Jin as BTS's granny, acknowledging his kindness and culinary skills. Suga, who wasn't present during the interview, is generally thought of by the group as cat-like. Jin compared J-Hope to a beagle puppy, noting his tendency to be untidy and physically affectionate. J-Hope thought of Jimin as dog-like, charming in appearance but sometimes selective in listening to others. Jimin didn't associate V with any animal but rather likened him to an alien, emphasizing his unique and unconventional ways. RM characterized Jungkook as a mix of a fox and a bear, agile and disciplined yet unexpectedly talkative and lively, similar to a beagle. These comparisons reflect the members' playful perceptions of each other, blending physical attributes with personality quirks. Dispatch has uncovered that the alleged involvement of G-Dragon and Lee Seong-yoon in the Incheon drug case was actually a deception orchestrated by a person known as Madam K. During their in-depth investigation, Dispatch identified several crucial points about the case. Madam K, leading the business known as G, or Baby Madam, operates more like a freelancer, visiting the business only for her clients. 2. She has a notorious reputation for drug dealings and is also known for dishonesty. 3. Approximately 10 people are connected to Madam K, involved in drug-related activities and blackmail. These include various individuals identified by nicknames or initials. 4. Dispatch has decided to temporarily withhold details about these individuals. 5. The case primarily revolves around Madam K's deceptive tactics, including making threats, slandering, and extorting money. 6. The investigation reveals a possible bias in the Incheon police, who seem to rely heavily on Madam K's statements and phone records. 7. The case is not centered on celebrity drug abuse. 8. Lee Seong-yoon was ensnared in a fake scenario set up by Madam K. 9. G-Dragon was inappropriately boasted about by Madam K. 10. The relationship between the police and Madam K raises questions. 11. The case might have deeper drug-related connections. 12. Dispatch is actively investigating the whole incident. 13. Both Lee Seong-yoon and G-Dragon were questioned by the police regarding drug offenses. 14. The police's handling of the celebrities' involvement and their premature name leakage are under scrutiny. 15. Moving forward, the reasons for investigating Lee Seong-yoon and G-Dragon are being explored. Focusing on Madam K, she faced a crisis in August 2023, with a looming threat of jail due to her drug convictions. 2 days after S reported her, Madam K messaged Lee Seong-yoon claiming she was hacked. Dispatch obtained messages between Madam K and the alleged hacker, raising questions about whether Madam K was genuinely hacked or if it was all part of her scheme. In a series of text messages, a hacker and Madam K discussed her gallery, which contained numerous photos of celebrities. The hacker pointed out the potential scandal these pictures could cause. Madam K, feigning innocence, responded by dismissing the hacker's concerns and stating her intention to sleep. However, the hacker accused Madam K of lying, as she had accessed her gallery despite claiming to be asleep. The hacker also mentioned having to respond to numerous people about Madam K and offered to send her screenshots of these interactions. Madam K expressed concern about the safety of her family, asking the hacker why they were threatening someone innocent and suggesting a deeper discussion. The hacker responded with an ultimatum. Madam K needed to provide approximately $76 to $800 by a certain deadline or face additional charges per day. The hacker emphasized the seriousness of the situation, warning Madam K about the potential loss of her social circle and the spreading of rumors. Madam K then messaged Lee Sun-kyun, claiming that her Apple Watch was hacked and the hacker had access to their conversations and recordings. She informed Lee Seong-yun that the hacker was demanding $230,000 to prevent the leak of their conversations. Madam K urged Lee Seong-yun not to ignore the hackers, warning him of the consequences if the matter went public, and assuring him that she would resolve the situation if he complied with the demand. In response, Lee Seong-yun eventually blocked Madam K. Lee Sun-kyun's best friend, who had originally introduced him to the establishment, became involved. He urged Lee Seong-yun to comply with the demand for money to resolve the issue. This development in the situation further complicated the ongoing investigation. In a conversation, Madam K expressed disappointment to Lee Seong-yun for not inquiring about her well-being following their last phone call. She mentioned discussing with a mutual male friend, who apparently was unaware of these topics, leading her to question whether Lee Seong-yun was being deceptive. Lee Seong-yun acknowledged her message and promised to contact her later. Madam K then shared her distress and sleeplessness, mentioning that she had changed her phone and number. Madam K reportedly received $230,000. Questions arose about the existence of a hacker, as Madam K was later found hiding at a friend's house involved in illegal activities. She was arrested on October 18, 2023, and the police confiscated her phone, uncovering communications with Lee Sun-kyun, implicating him in the matter. Concerning G-Dragon, he had visited the establishment, as boasted by Madam K to her friends. This led the police to label him as both a client and a suspect, although the grounds for these allegations were weak. Madam K sent messages claiming G-Dragon was present and that she had secretly recorded a video of him. Madam K often boasted about celebrity visits to her business, with at least 10 different celebrities being mentioned. However, the police investigation primarily focused on G-Dragon, overlooking others who were also present. The police's evidence seemed to rely heavily on Madam K's statements and the covert video. Dispatch criticized the police for leaking celebrity names during the ongoing investigation and suggested the investigation should concentrate on verifying the existence of the hacker and the source of Madam K's drugs. This approach would clarify whether the situation was authentic or fabricated by Madam K.